reason I try to get people into games, learning a gaming system and then committing to it, it's a lot like learning music, which I equate to learning a new language. It opens you up to possibilities within a certain sandbox. You're given paints and a canvas. What can you do? And every new mechanic is a new color or a new technique you can try. What kind of Bob Rossian horrors can you come up with when I give you colors other than brown? Every step in a tabletop RPG is really composed of two components. Some way to resolve a conflict. You go to a door. In any fantasy D&D setting, you have so many options of what to do with that door. The wizard's going to cast a spell, so maybe he can scry into the room. The thief is going to try to pick the lock. The barbarian's going to kick it down. The cleric is going to wait for someone to bleed and then try to heal that. Or they might do what no one else has thought and knock. See if anyone says hello. Collaborative storytelling means everything is retrospective. When you sit down, hopefully, you don't know how the game's going to go. You don't know who's going to get injured. And I'm not just talking about numbers on stats and points and hit points. You don't know really who's going to change. My first Vampire the Masquerade, I was forced to embrace somebody. I never wanted to deal with that or work with that mechanic or have that happen to my character. But 6 hours in, we needed her to stay alive, and the person was set to bleed out. Prince said it's either Donovan or nobody. Now I had to make a choice that I didn't necessarily want to. But it was conflicting. It was internal conflict. It was fun. Now mind you, any game can become a role-playing game the moment you add desire, the moment you add motivation. You can turn sorry into an RPG. The moment you go, sorry, I send you back to the beginning because you slayed my uncle in cold blood! Sorry, Game of Thrones. The book is 60 pages long, 10 pages at MomentumOry.com. Suburban Ghostbusters, the RPG. That's it. That's it. So it's just as funny as it gets really dark. It has what's called the chair. And what I love about the chair is it gives the player a chance to retrospectively or prep something that's going to happen later on, because they get one per game to sit in a chair and a la reality television talk to everyone, the players, as if it's a TV game. You all go there and you meet this guy. He's from Transylvania. He says, meet me at midnight in the graveyard. Everyone's rolling their eyes because they know where the GM is going. Someone sits down before the guy's even opening his mouth. I was surprised when the guy turned out to be a mermaid. I was more surprised when he married Dan. Dan's player goes, oh shit. Because it has to happen. Because in the rules, when you use the chair, you give someone a character quality, they must play to it, to the end. A great gateway game for improvisers and theater kids who want a little touch of RPG rule setting, or it's a great gateway for people who are so bogged down in rules, I just want to play something real quick. I'm not good at talking. We'll help you through it. This is a game where you help and hurt your fellow barons. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all barons. It is a storytelling RPG where you tell a self-glorifying story and your friends call bullshit on your lies. With a poker mechanic. Very simple. Someone has the floor, they get to tell a spectacular story, you prompt them with something ridiculous. And I'll do themes. Like when I hosted this at PonyCon, everybody had prompts that were based on the last season of My Little Pony. That's what everyone had read. Here's how it runs. Baron, why don't you tell us the story of how you discovered the source of the Nile and what you found there? Of course, everyone asks that story. The idea being it's like the age of exploration, so as steampunky and ridiculous as possible. Right, it was the summer of 1780, and I was sailing the Mediterranean on my ship. Someone starts right off the bat, but Baron, they put down one of their poker chips. You only have as many poker chips as there are players. Everyone knows that summer, the Mediterranean was dry as a bone. How were you sailing? You can either put down one of your poker chips and just dismiss the interruption, or you work it into the story, which leaves you your full pile, because whoever has the most coins at the end bets on who told the best story. Well, I was sailing in my airship, of course, yes! Sailing in my dirigible, of course, you fool. Wow, monocle. You go from there. 2-page book. There is 1 page for rules. This many pages! That's it! It's all based on wonderful puns. You play house cats. Your job is to keep the stupid humans unaware of all the Lovecraftian puns, like Awakening Cthulhu, or the catnip from out in space, or not doggone but daggone the fish god. You are a 2-foot-ologist, a cat who knows how people work and mechanics and stuff. You are a tiger dreamer, so DM plot hole. You are the scrapper. You are the cat crobat. And the fifth one, the fifth one is the pampered, the one that can manipulate people to do whatever they want.
You want belly rub? Open door. In Panty Explosion, you and your friends take on the roles of Japanese high school girls. At least one of you will have psychic powers. Using your collective storytelling abilities, you and your friends will construct stories about how your girls triumphed against otherworldly adversities, shadowy agents, mysterious demons from the underworld, and the Japanese public education system. You have a best friend and a rival, another player around the table. You do not know the outcome of your actions. You pick another player to be your best friend. You're going to be my best friend?
Sure.
Okay. You going to be my rival?
Sure.
Okay. Basic example. We're all outside. It's a thunderstorm, lightning bolts everywhere. I've got an angry Tengu casting lightning bolts down at me. I want to dodge the lightning bolts, obviously. We're outside, golf course, rain is going everywhere. I've got a golf club, got a wooden bat, I got the spell, maybe it'll work. I roll successfully. What happens?
You hold the bat up, and it gets hit with the lightning, charging it mightily. Nice. And you throw the bat with your purse attached to it, starts spinning around, wax the Tengu, your makeup comes out, demoralizes it, blinds it, and falls to the ground.
No one's ever brought a purse into it before. Rival, I fail my roll, what happens?
You hit your friend in the face.
With the lightning bolt coming at me? It's canon now! The rival said it! Everyone is John. This is a 2-page RPG. 2 pages. Bring out those poker chips, kids, because the GM plays John, a schizophrenic homeless man living in the middle of a Midwestern city. All of the voices, all the players are different voices in John's head that have certain goals and compositions. When we did this at PonyCon, it was everybody is Pinky. Now, your voice has 2 things he's really good at, like stealing and driving. Nunchuck, teleportation. Lying, shoe shining. Those are the only things that you're feasibly good at, but you also have compulsions. Some of them are massive goals. Setting fires to massive buildings would be like a 3. Discovering the lost city of Atlanta would be a 3. Something easy like get drunk would be like 1. Waving your genitals at traffic, 1. Here's the issue. Every turn you vie secretly with the number of the willpower points and tokens that you have. I voted 5, you voted 3, you voted 2. All right, I cashed in because I'm going to get a bunch of points. Nothing stops the other voices from stopping you from achieving your goals. You don't want to tell the other voices your goal. You don't want to start off the bat by waving your genitals at traffic, because then when John gets injured or when he falls asleep, someone else takes over for John and they vie again. So there was Pirate Dan, waved his genitals at traffic. Charles said, I'm in control now. We're working in a Staplers. Is there a paper cutter? It's the 11th century, England. Mice have their own chivalric sort of Arthurian world. Go. That's the world. This is a game that has 2 turns. The players take their turn, and then the GM takes a turn. Very, very simple outcome. You take this antidote to this village. The plague has arrived. Okay, it's only a 1/4 mile down the road. You an itty bitty mouse? It's going to take a while. The GM's turn is the big transition area, the big adventure. It rains. Boo-hoo, it rains. You an itty bitty mouse. Deluge and flood! Rolling boat building skills, rolling survival skills, rolling climbing skills, getting away from it. There's a snake in the road. A snake! You itty bitty mouse. Hydra fight! Rolling to attack, rolling to hide, rolling to dodge, rolling to protect your friends. The more successes you roll, those go into a personal pool that you then spend on the player's turn. You arrive at the town. You could use those dice to repair and boost up your equipment. You could use those dice to add something to your personals roll, your contacts, You have 10 dice that you collected, you drop 6 and say, I am the first cousin of the mayor. We have a very good relationship. You're gonna walk around that town like hot shit. You're gonna dethrone the sheriff. You own that town essentially. Needs to go to all 84 pages of it, or just going to flesh out your favorite horror movies. There is no character sheet. There is no dice. There's almost no need for a pencil. There's no cards that you draw. The only mechanic that you have in Dread is a collectively drawn from Jenga tower. Do I have your attention yet? Based on the danger and complexity of what you want to try to do, you pull anywhere from 1 to 5 Jenga pieces. If the tower falls when you're trying to pool, you are removed. You're doomed. You can't roll anymore. You've gone crazy. You've gotten eaten. You're going to be removed. You can't help the party by pulling anymore. You can't succeed in anything. If you choose heroic sacrifice, knock the tower over, push it over, you instantly succeed in the most helpful, epic way imaginable. They rebuild the tower, removing 5 pieces for every player that is gone. You successfully toss the jeep across the channel, across the moat. You get everyone safe. It throws out your back and the zombies go, buffet. Dread works with any scenario. I do a Silent Hill scenario, I do a Walking Dead scenario. It's that simple. Go. Start pulling the pieces. The Will Wheaton series, Tabletop, did a great 2-parter on his channel with it, perfectly doing it with three players. They start by taking it out. They do one of the scenarios in the book. It's fast, it's furious, it's fun. That being said, include everybody, yes, and have an amazing 2-minute games. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, let's get you all home.